Everybody, it's Omar. It is March 24th, or 21st, sorry, 6:46 p.m. in the evening, and I want to make a video building my watch list. Today I was really active because I worked from home. So I'm in New York, and there's a snowstorm going on currently. So I was working from home today, and just to make a point, like I've been doing pretty much all year, about being like real and showing you guys that you can really do this, and me kind of giving you real-time analysis on Twitter so that you can kind of learn how stock trading works, and don't have to give all your money to a guru. Not that I'm against them, because some of them you can learn some things from. And like I said, I had an experience where I joined Foos Alerts chat room, which was horrendous. Nice, cool people, just no education. So I'm not against them, but I just want to show you that you can learn this stuff, and you don't feel like you need to be in a chat room looking for alerts. You can learn this stuff just focusing on key support and resistance levels. So this is what I did. I didn't post a watch list last night. I was like out, doing a bunch of things. I got in really late and I was tired. And I don't have a chat room or anything. I just do this just cause, so there's gonna be times where I'm gonna be active, and there's gonna be times when you're probably not gonna see me on Twitter for months, But right now I've been pretty active. So what did I do this morning? This morning I made a watch list in the morning. FinViz. So one of the flaws that Thinkorswim has is that after midnight, these scanners, like all your scanners, like kind of go obsolete. You cannot like run your scanners for and look back like a previous day. So what I do is, like, if I get home and I don't use these to look for charts, I'll use FinViz the following morning to see what was there. And so I used FinViz this morning to build my watch list that I used this morning, and pre-market, because I started building this, like, I want to say like at 6 a.m. I started building 7 a.m. and I posted this, I don't know, about 7:30 a.m. I think it was, around that time. So what did I say? Watch list for today, simplest play for me is run. If breaks yearly high 808 and holds, go long. If it tests it and can't hold it, short it. It's a slow, boring play, but simple. And then Facebook should continue tanking. We'll see. If not, buy dips off clear resistance areas that become support. Well, sure enough, let's talk about that. Right? So run, which is on my watch list for tomorrow, sure enough, broke right at the market open. Started gapping. And I always anybody who's been following me, I always tell you not to buy the breakout, because a lot of times you can have a false breakout where stock gaps up and then just tanks. So you got to be careful. If you're buying a breakout, you got to be real careful. You got to have a brokerage that's great, and you're probably using hotkeys to get in and out really quickly. Otherwise, you really shouldn't. I don't advise it. That's that warrior trading bullshit. That's why all his students go broke, and he just pumps stocks so he can make money at your expense. What I did was I watched it gap up, literally, and I waited for the pullback. And when I saw it saw this pullback and saw the volume come in, so once I saw it gap down to 815, and in this next candle I started seeing the volume come in, I got in even though it was, the safest play would have been to see it break above VWAP, but I was pretty confident that it was gonna run, because this is sort of like a flag pattern. And I got in 820, all right, and I just held it. I just held it all day. I made other plays and I was watching with a side eye, but man, run just kept literally running all day. And it hit a high of 895. I actually sold my shares right when I saw it break the higher day over here, this 884, and it saw the consolidation up in this strength. I sold it because I didn't expect it to break 9. It did exactly what I expected it to do. Was kind of, I thought it was gonna either test 9 and reject it, or reject it below 9, and it did. It hit 895, and then people just started taking profit. That's all this is. People taking profit and short sellers coming in, just driving the price down. Now I think tomorrow, I have my key support and resistance levels already mapped out. We'll talk about tomorrow's watch list later. But yeah, so it was a fantastic trade. I got executed. I think it was like 887, 888. I started selling my shares. I made a really nice profit today on this stock. Right? So let's go through Twitter, right? So what also did I say? TEUM, gapped on news of a contract win, got my support and resistance levels mapped. If we can break yearly high 339 and hold as support, can potentially move. We'll see. Now, I didn't trade this and I didn't really pay attention to it, even though I posted this because I just caught it moving and I added it to my watch list. But let's see what happens. Gaps up to 329 pre-market. Market opens, sort of kind of like consolidates in this area in this one candle. It goes from 302 to 315, gaps up above that 315 but can't hold it. Now, in theory, right here, you could have took a short, and just took it down because it couldn't hold that key support level of 313. And it broke down, and this is the 50-day simple moving average. This is VWAP. This is the 200-day simple moving average, and this is the 300-day simple moving average. And you can see it touched the 300-day simple moving average and then bounced off that. That's something I follow somebody on Twitter who kind of put me on to 300 simple day moving average. I really never paid attention to it, but it is pretty powerful to go long on stocks that bounce off it, that hold above it. And if you could see, it kind of gaps up and consolidates sideways. But look what happens. It kind of consolidates between this $3 or $4 level. And then sure enough, at the end of the day, it just ripped. And now it's at a high of 341. It broke the high. I didn't put it on my watch list for tomorrow. Probably should, because it just broke the yearly high. And you may want to see tomorrow, my guess is that it pulls back to the pre-market high of 329, and that'd be a great dip buy if it holds. So maybe it pulls back to 329, it holds 329, buy the dip, and then just take it long. So maybe I'll put it on my watch list for tomorrow. But I didn't trade this at all. Let's keep looking on Twitter. So I put run. Yeah, now this is, guys, I don't understand how you guys ask me if I have a chat room. I mean, this is obviously me joking. I'm just being silly because I'm calling out plays that are really happening. And you notice when you see people in chat rooms, like the guru will really advocate for this, for the people in the chat room to like post on Twitter about a play that they made or whatever. So I just fuck around like that. But I gave everybody a winner. Now, if you don't believe me, you can search my Twitter. I've been posting about PTN since 39 cents. I've been telling people since 39 cents to buy this stock. This stock is going to go to 11 bucks. It's absolutely going to go to $6. But I think it's going to go to 11, even 13 bucks. This stock got deals on deals. And I just keep buying on dips and adding in my IRA account. I got enough shares that once it breaks 11, I probably won't have to work no more, to be quite honest with you. My friend who's got almost 1 million shares, he's already up. He with an average of 37 cents, he's already up like over $100,000, like ridiculous. Like he's set. He's set for life. He's set. This thing is gonna make him millions of dollars. And he's just been buying dips forever. Like he's been telling me about this stock for almost 2 years. And and he told me when it was gonna move, it moved to 50 cents, just like he said. I mean, he's amazing. But anyway, that's the reason why I knew about PTN, because I can't take credit for that. Somebody put me onto it. Anyway, I said if once it gets to 106, watch it run. Now the reason why I said that, because the yearly high yesterday was 105, right? So once it broke, 104, but it touched that 106 level this morning when the market opened and then pulled back. So I knew that once it broke 106, it was gonna rip. And it's 113. This is not like the normal day trading stock that you would buy, but this is a stock that is a real company or real fundamentals that is super cheap. That's gonna be worth way more than what it is. That's just my guess, guys. Guys, I could be wrong. Tomorrow this shit can tank and go down to 20 cents. But that's my guess. All right, and I'm betting big on it. So anyway, that is on my, and this will be on my watch list tomorrow too. This is gonna be on my watch list for the foreseeable future. I mean, I just think it's just gonna keep going higher and higher. At some point it'll have a big pullback. Like last time it broke $1, it pulled back all the way to 80 cents. And and the further it gets away from the 50 simple moving average, you know, eventually it'll retrace back down or close to it, and then, you know, keep running. So, you know, if it's too high now for you, then, you know, and you want to really size in, wait for that red day. Wait for those 1 or 2 red days where it pulls back and gets near that 50-day simple moving average on the daily. This is the daily, to buy dips and then go long. All right. Anyway, this was, I talked about that on Twitter, so you could have made some money. People told me they banked. Next up, GERN. I said if it can break 450 and hold, watch it squeeze to 5. Now, mind you guys, I'm posting this before it happens, okay? I'm posting this before it happens so you can see, like, you know, there's like you know, this is living proof. Like, I'm not making this shit up. I'm not making shit up. Like, you see me doing this in real time, so you know you can see that I'm the truth, you know. So anyway, look where GEN now is now. All right. I told you guys if it held above 450, go long, you know, and like I always tell people, you know, don't buy the breakout. So you see what happens is it broke out here, right? It broke out here, and then it pulls back. It retraces back to 451, and then it forms that, and then it gaps up to 456. Then it gaps down, and then it starts moving. Now I missed this play. I didn't take this trade because I was too busy in Tao. We'll talk about that, but I told everybody to potentially watch it, and you know, and the stock is up. It's up to 570, which is insane. So I'll definitely gotta map this out. We'll talk. This will be on my watch list for tomorrow. Let me just put buy breakout if holds 570. And people banked on this 570 or short rejection. Alright, so, oops, spell rejection wrong. And guys, sorry for my grammar. I type really fast, and a lot of times I'll type on my phone, and it does that stupid spell check. And I don't check it. I just type and just send, you know, because, you know, I'm trying to do this in trade. It's hard. And I'll have to put another trend line here at that 543 level, but I'll do that later. But, yeah, so look where it's at now, you know. So I gave you another fucking monster winner, you know. All right, let's talk about what else, because I was on fire today, all right. Tao, all right. I said, I said, man, I missed my short entry, but it's consolidating near key support level. If it breaks, we'll short now, right? Because this was the key support level, 39.81, right? I missed this first gap down of 40.63. I had it mapped on my watch list. I'll go back to it, but I just want to tell you what I said before it happened. All right, I said. And there you go now, right? This is the short happening, right? Still not down. It still hasn't touched 39.36. But what did I say when I posted this? I said, and there you go, shorted Tao at 39.79. If breaks 39.58, we'll test 39.36. There may be a good dip buy, all right? Shorts will cover if holds. If not, we'll tank harder. So I was, now how did I know that? Right? How did I know that that exact number was the dip buy? I'm no genius, guys. Here, let me pull up the big chart. 39.36 was yesterday's high. That's all. That's all. That was a key support level. That's it, guys. That's all it was. That's why I knew to put a trend line at 39.36. That's all. And it literally bounced off 39.36. So here, let me just pull up the 5-day 1-minute chart so you can see. All right. So this was the tank. This is where it broke down. I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. This is where it broke down here. Okay. I got in short. And then it popped right up. And then look what happened. It touched it. It hit in the next candle. This is how they shake out shorts, the market makers, so that they can go in and short. So this stock went to a low of 39.58, hit a high of 39.80, right? Couldn't get past that 39.81, right? Where, see, support became resistance and then gapped down. I wasn't worried about it. I was like, all right, if it holds above 38.81, I'll cover. But it came down and literally touched that 39.36 level. And right in this next candle, I covered because I just felt like it was gonna dip by, and I reversed my position. So I covered right into this candle. I covered at like 30, I think it was like 39.46, and then I just took it long. I just literally covered and then bought. and then just put a buy order, and I just got executed, risking 39.36. And sure enough, this shit gapped up, consolidated, ripped all the way back up to 40.26. I held through all of this. I held through the break of 40.06. When I got nervous when I saw that it was when you see how it starts like double triple topping here. So right here it topped, it touched 40.28, then it touched 40.25, then it touched 40.26, then it touched 40.25, then it touched 40.27, then it touched 40.26. Right in this candle I sold. I got out because I knew that it wasn't gonna go. Now I should have been smart and then shorted it again, because I could have shorted risking off 40.28, or once it below that 40.06, which I had as a clear support level. And I got this all based off yesterday. You see, or these are how I mapped my support and resistance levels. All right, all based off what I saw yesterday. All right, and I could have shorted it again. Now I didn't. I was on Twitter. I was working too, so I had to. I was just happy I'm profitable. So I took my win. I took my short and my long. All right, so that was that. And you could have shorted risking any one of these key levels again. All right. Now what else did I post? I was just going ham today. All right. And then I'm not a bragger. It's really not, but I just want to give you guys some clarity that was incredible. I to the cent I called it. Like it's crazy, And then run at this point, it was already at, when I told you guys at 808 to buy if it held, it was at 840. I didn't know that it was gonna keep running, but I was still in run, just letting it do its thing. Now Twitter, look at this. This is when I really detailed with Twitter to kind of explain the technical analysis of why I told everybody to buy 32.89. Because let me see if I can pull up Twitter. Twitter eventually tanked because Facebook tanked. I'm gonna try and see if I can remember when I did this. But yeah, I think what was it, 32.89, and it gapped up. It went, yeah. So I think it was. I'm trying to remember if it was. It was here. It was in this time. This was 10:30. It was around this time. So right, we saw Twitter pull back. Now the reason why I had 32.89 was, let me pull up the big chart. Sorry guys. I was mapping. All I did was pre-market this morning, looked at the key support and resistance levels to map, all right, to map potential entries to go long. That's what I did, all right. Now, and 32.89 was a key level from yesterday. See how it held support here before it broke down. It had some nice support here, and then it kind of collapsed. That's why I was so focused on 32.89. Okay, now when I was watching this, okay, I was looking at it, right, and I missed it the first time, and it was tanking. Now what happened was, it rode the 50-day moving average, and then what I was looking to see was, I wanted to see it gap up, okay, and I wanted to see that candle hold, because I saw the consolidation happening here. You see how it gapped up, it pulled back, and then it started consolidating here at this 32.68 level. And once I saw it go up and I saw the candle, the volume come in, once that candle, I need to see that candle break above it, and it held. And that's when I told people, to go long. And I was explaining that in the Twitter. It didn't hold. It eventually, sold off because Facebook sold off. But I wanted to explain why it was, how it was happening, just like it said. So I said, Twitter, see, I told everyone if it holds 29.89, we'll break 33, then retrace back and test 32.89. That's the good buy. Broke below it and bounced off the 50 SMA. So if it grinds back and holds 32.89, that's the safe buy, because this is the first time it broke 32.89, right? It happened. It came up. It gapped up. And then, I tell people to wait to see, like, don't buy. Oh, right here. This is where this is where I tell people. And you see how it gapped up and broke 33? Like, I told people not to buy here, because what happens is usually a stock will gap up, like you'll get like a momentum push, especially these higher price stocks. And then what happens is you get a retracement and then another push. And that's why I told people not to buy. I told people it's going to break 33, then it's going to retrace and retest 89. It actually broke below it. It did retrace it, it broke below it, and then it bounced off here, the 50-day moving average. And then once it broke above it, right in here is where I told people this is where I went long. Right in this candle actually. I got executed like at 32.90. I think it was like 32.92, 32.93. And then it broke above 33.07, but unfortunately, you know, it couldn't hold it. So right in this candle, I actually got out. Like I got out at like 33.05. You know, wasn't much, but I was just explaining that that's how you want to buy. You don't want to buy when it first breaks out. You want to see it retrace and test it, and then know it's a good buy. The only reason why this thing didn't keep going up is because of what happened with Facebook. Otherwise, this shit would have kept going up to $33 and $34 today. Absolutely, it was gonna fill the gap. I think Twitter will eventually fill the gap, but it's not. It just didn't happen today. Thank Mark Zuckerberg for that. All right, what else did I post? Right, so I talked about Twitter, and I was just making a joke about Twitter. Yeah, because you see it hit a high of 33.14. Then it retraced. Okay. Oh yeah, then I talked about Facebook, and then I told you guys Facebook. I said I didn't post a chart. I did this quick because I was working and I wanted to make the trade, so you know it's like hard. But I said if Facebook can break and hold 168.72, will break 170 today. And then I talked about I covered my short at and it's really 163 for 13 points. I go long now if it breaks above my key level. Yeah, I had shorted. Everybody saw when I shorted pre-market. I told everybody to short Facebook the other day, and you could have got 13 points if you listened to me. But I was looking at this key level. Why? I was looking at this key level because, let me put up Facebook. It's just simple, support and resistance. That's it, guys. That's it. It was a key level. All right, this was a key level from the previous day. So let's zoom in here. 168.72. You see how it touched it here at 168.70. But over here, it kind of like tested that level, and I think on the this is the 1 minute. It kind of like touches this level, and because of that, I probably was off. Oh yeah, right here, 168.72, 168. What was this? 168.72. That's why I was comfortable because it literally touched this here and then retraced. That was you know, that was yesterday. Today. I mean, that was Thursday. But then, and that's why it was a key level for me. But when we look at today, right, you know, when I covered now, just to show you, I didn't show anybody this, but I had a support level mapped at 163.40. And look what happened in the market open. I didn't post this, but look, it literally touched 163.30. And in that next candle, it just started ripping and went long. My alert went off, but I didn't pay attention to it. You know, I was busy with other stocks. But it actually bounced off that level, okay? And it started running. Now, I saw that it was ripping and running all day because they were saying that Facebook, that Mark Zuckerberg was gonna, you know, he was gonna have some sort of message. He was gonna make some sort of statement, and I think because of that made people like comfortable wanting to buy the stock, and that's why it started running. That's really the reason why it started running. And then once it broke 168.72, I told people if it holds, go long. And you can see, you know, it gapped up above it, consolidated, and that's why I always say if it holds, because I never buy like once it breaks a level. I like to see it retrace or form a higher low before I'm comfortable buying. And look what happens here. It retraces, gets below it, kind of starts gapping above it, and then you know, you kind of see it going sideways here. I wanted to see a second green candle form for me to go long. You see how this one, the body was still below the actual level? That's why I didn't buy here. And when, you know, so I wasn't comfortable buying. And then I saw it pull back a little bit and then gap up here and then, you know, formed a higher low here. And then in this candle, I went long. This is where I went long. And you know, I went along here, um, test, you know, I'm sorry, risking 168.72, and I just rode this. I rode this up. You know, I rode this up. I rode this up, and I saw it tested this key support level here, 170.20. Now I was going to sell once it touched 170. Once it was in the 170s, I got greedy. I wanted to see if it was gonna bounce off the 50 simple day moving average, which it did, and then it continued. So I just continued to ride this. I just rode this and rode this and rode this and rode this up. I rode this, and actually I sold on the reversal. So when it so I had so once I saw that it broke the trend, and here I just put a trend line. So you know, once it has a trend, like you see it in a trend, once I saw it break the trend, and I didn't use a trend line, I was just my you know, in my mind I can, you know, I already see the trend line. So once I saw it, you know, start gapping down, and once I saw it broke below the 50-day simple moving average, I sold right in here. I sold at like 170.202 or something like that. So that was a nice trade. You know, that was a really nice trade. And then I don't know why I didn't take it short. I just kind of like, I don't know why I didn't reverse my position. I did it with Tau. I didn't do it with this. And then I talked about this stock one last time because I actually took this short, and then I broke even, or took, I think it was a small loss, and then I made some nice money long in it. And then I was talking about PTN. I was making a joke about that. I was talking about GERN, and sure enough, I was right about that, and it was ripping. And then I was talking about Facebook, letting everybody know if it had 170.20, go long. Run at this point was at 864. I was still in that. And then I talked about Bank of America. This wasn't even on my watch list, and I gave this shit to you. Look what I said. I said, okay, last post BAC. I think interest rate news may hit today, stating that it will rise. Well. So basically, without reading the shit, I just said basically in a nutshell, since they were supposed to say if interest rates were going to rise, there was supposed to be some Fed meeting, and if interest rates rise, banks make money. So at this moment, I caught it right around here, right where it was testing VWAP. All right, it was testing VWAP when I caught Bank of America. So all I did was I told people just take it long, risking VWAP, because remember, VWAP means bullish, and VWAP is bullish, and anything below VWAP is considered bearish. And sure enough, the thing pulls back, bounces right off VWAP, and it just ripped. I mean, it just went all the way up from 31.83. When I posted this, the stock was at that moment, it was at 31.85 when I posted it, and it went all the way up to 32.45. Which is pretty crazy. And I had these resistance lines there from when this trade was up here before, and then it just, you know, kind of collapsed. You know, so I gave you that too. Okay. I didn't make this trade though. Just so you know, I didn't make this trade. All right, and there you go. I was making a joke about Bank of America, but I didn't take that trade. Let's see. And then I was talking about Twitter. Now, the reason why it didn't hold this 22.90, let me explain why I was talking about this 32.93. This is more based off an indicator, not really off support and resistance so much. But I'll tell you why I was bullish on if it broke 32.93, because on the 5, and I have to use the smaller chart here, on the 5-minute time frame. So on the 1-minute time frame, the stock at this point was above the 300, 200, and 50-day simple moving average. But on the 5-minute, it was below. It was testing 32.93, which was like right around here. So I thought if it held above the 300 SMA, like if it broke and held the candle, that it was going to start moving. What happened, the reason why it started tanking was because of the Mark Zuckerberg situation. When Facebook tanked, Twitter tanked with it. That's why it tanked. Otherwise, I think this thing was prepped to run higher. But that's why I was bullish on it if it held. But I said it had a hold. You could have shorted it once it didn't hold, but I wasn't looking to short, and I didn't post. And then what was the other? Oh, so I was talking about Facebook again, and I had posted the wrong screenshot. I was looking at TVIX at this time, and I posted the wrong one. But this was where, so I was talking about, what did I say? Oh, I said it here. Did I put it on here? Oh yeah. So I said, guess what? Facebook held 168.72, which was earlier before the run. I told you to go long, and it deja vu, right? Yeah, because it's funny. Facebook literally came back down and tested that 168.72 on the gap down. You notice that it literally touched that level, touched it. Look at that, verbatim, and gapped up and went to 169.94, right? Over a point, just like that. And then it came down and it was like consolidating. So what I was looking to do was short the breakdown of 168.72, and sure enough, in this candle, it actually broke it, and I went short. I got executed at 168.70, and then what I said was, and it happened after the fact, but this is what I said. Let's go back to Twitter. I'm sorry, this is gonna be a long video because I'm going through the plays, and then just to show you. Normally I just show over the watch list, but I just wanted to show you. This is what I said. If Facebook breaks 168.72, lights out, I'm going short. It should go red. I'll risk VWAP. Otherwise, I might be staying away, right? And then I said, come on, Facebook, tank. So I'm waiting for it to tank, and then this is what I said, right? Now, mind you, this hasn't gone. This is the previous day's close price, and there you go. I put will bounce at 168.15, previous day's close price. That's what I meant to say, close price. Then hopefully continue tanking, doing this in real time, risking VWAP, right? So what I did was when I saw it tank, right? When I took it short, this is what spooked me out and made me go long. You see how it's gapping? It gapped up, right? And it broke above it. Now I'm risking VWAP, so I'm staying in. But once I saw it break below it, I got nervous because right here, you notice how it's holding now 168.50, and then I saw this. When you get this, when the stock is going in a particular direction and you get the Greystone doji, that usually means a reversal is taking place. So once I saw that, I covered, but this move happened so fast that when I covered, I got executed. I think it was like at 168.75 or 76. So I took a small loss, and then I literally bought shares. Like I covered, and then I went in like a quick 1,000 shares, and I just went in and I caught this run up. I mean, beautiful run up all the way up to 168.80. 82. I actually, right in this candle, I sold really quick. It touched in this candle, it hit a high of 169.96, but I sold. I got executed like at 169.80, so it was great. When I bought, it was like, I think I got here, I got executed like 168.88, I think it was. So it was like a beautiful fast trade I got in. And then look what happened. What I said would happen happened after the fact. I said that eventually it was going to, what did I say, right? I told you guys, I told you guys, and I told somebody else before it actually happened, right? I just read it before, but I told you that, where is it? I said, oh man, where is it? I just talked about it earlier. I don't know. Well, anyway, I told you that it was going to test the previous day's close price. Oh, here it is. Will bounce. Yeah, there you go. 168 previous day's close price. Will bounce at 168.15. Previous day's close price. Hopefully continue tanking, doing this in real time. So that's what I said, right? But look what happens. Eventually, this was just short sellers like covering really fast because they saw a clear support level. Because remember, you gotta realize, right? Once it starts going down, this is just short sellers coming in, risking off this. And they're just waiting to see where the turn is going to happen so that they can cover. So, right, look what happens here. That's why you got this quick artificial spike because you got this clear support level. Now, it tanks, and look what happens. It tests the previous day's close price, which is here, and then it caused another crazy spike. It went from 168 literally to 169.92, almost 2 points. Just like I said, it was gonna bounce. So you could have bought a bounce there. You see, and that's all trading psychology is, guys. That's all it is. That's all it is. And I called all this out in real time, like before the moves were happening. Or I was gonna tell you this is what's gonna happen if this happens. I was just, today was just awesome, and it's a testament to, to all the work I've put in studying and watching charts and really, dedicating myself to this to get to a level now that I can see things before they happen and get a real sense of how the stocks are going to move. So with that said, let's build our watch list for tomorrow. So I'm going to pull up tomorrow's. I actually built it. I'm just going to talk about where I got my support and resistance levels. So this is a gem for you guys. USRM. Now USRM is a stock that I've traded before that had this run from this was when I was in. It went from 4 to 17 cents. And last year this happened back in March. All right, and it went from March 23rd to about March 28th. This thing went from 4 cents to 17.9 cents. Well, it's been kind of dead since. It's had a couple of other runs. It got to 12 cents here, and then it just completely died. All right, and this is the yearly. Let me pull up the big chart over here so you can see it. Crap. Sorry, guys. All right. Well, it's starting to pick up. It's starting to get some more volume. And it's had 4 green days, and I think there's some real potential that this stock, even though it's shitty and normally I wouldn't trade this, like normally this wouldn't be a day trade for me. I think this can, over the next few days, this can run back up to that 12 cents level at a minimum. Test that 12 cent level, 11-12 cent level. I think it could fill the gap all the way up here. Like what's this? Oops, sorry. And get back, yeah, at this 11-12 cent level, I think. So tomorrow, if this holds 0.82, all right, it tests it, it breaks it, and pulls back and holds it, you can buy the breakout. Or if it pulls back and holds above 0.74, you can buy the dip or at 0.66. These 3 key levels. Now, really, I would be looking to buy either here or here. I'm not really gonna buy if it dips here. I'd rather see it either hold one of these 2 key levels. So for you guys that don't have a lot of money, that want to make a trade and hold maybe for a couple of days, there's some potential here. It's building volume, and the reason why I say that is because the volume, you see, 2 million shares traded here, 1 million shares traded here, 1 million shares traded here, 22 million shares traded here. So I'm looking to see, if it gets more volume tomorrow, that this thing could potentially test 11 cents, maybe more. We'll see. I think other buyers are seeing this the way I'm seeing it, and they're probably gonna buy. Next up, PTN. This is my IRA long-term swing trade account, which is gonna set me up for retirement. So I have a friend who is like what is it? He pinch play. He's a pinch play swing trader. This guy barely ever loses, and everything he tells me, like, always happens. Like, he's amazing. He's been telling me about PTN since like 20-30 cents, and everything he says has happened. He tells me this for sure is going to 6, and he's holding to 11. He's accumulated over the year almost 1 million shares. All right, he's buying this in the 20 cent, 30 cent range, just buying and buying. He has money because he's been trading for a long time. So he's just been, every time the stock would gap up and dip, he would buy the dip. That's sort of how he's been doing it. So so I got in too. I got a lot of shares invested in this stock. Not 1 million shares, but enough that will set me up for retirement if if the stock hits $11. So we'll see. So potentially I'll be looking to buy if it, well, I'm already in, but if it holds 113, if it breaks above 113, pulls back and holds, take it long, risking 113, potentially buy a dip here at 106 or 104. Okay. These are the 3 areas that I would buy. Really not worth shorting, but you could definitely look for a dip buy. And if you want to swing this, hold this. Look, again, this stock tomorrow can tank and go to 10 cents and be done. I'm not a financial advisor, but I'm strongly in favor of this stock going a lot higher because of the got good cash flow and you got a lot of deals. All right, next up, DNR. DNR is up. I've traded this stock several times now. I like this because it's tested, its yearly high of 274. So tomorrow, if it breaks above 274 and holds, take it long. Now, what you should do is look back, further in the stock history to see where's the next level above, just to see, potential resistance, overhead resistance. This stock was a long time ago. Let me zoom out. This stock has been as high as $19. I'll let you do your due diligence, but there is some overhead resistance, probably up over here, and yeah, there's some $3 in the $3 areas over here. Sorry, yeah, so it's just hard to see because it's 5 years that I'm looking back. But yeah, you can take a look and see. But if it breaks above 274 holds, take it long. Otherwise, if it can't hold 274, take it short, risking 274. Potential dip buy here, 262. If it holds 262, buy the dip. Otherwise, short, risking off 262. And the next key level here is 257. It holds 257, buy the dip. Otherwise, short it. And, if you short it, it's probably going to, it may potentially bounce at 250. And if it can't hold 250, it could potentially get back to 230. All right. I just like it because it's at its 1 year high of 174. So it's always great to buy. There's a simple stress-free trades. All right, next up, GERN, which was huge winner from not for me, but for some of you guys that listed and bought. I didn't buy this, but it's up after hours, 570. I don't know what the news is, and most times I don't care, but doesn't even say. I don't even know what's causing this to move, but it hit a high 570. It's sort of found some support here at this what is this low? 541, 542. So 540. Yeah, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna edit this and put this at 541, so I have my trend line. Because what happens is when the alerts shoot off, you don't have a line no more. So what I do is I draw a trend line, then I put the alert, and I'll say potential dip buy at 541 or short breakdown. All right, so you have a clear level to potentially dip buy it. Also, there's another. Let me zoom out here. What did I put? 541, and I had an alert here set at. Why did I put something different? Let me get rid of that 535. Remove. Maybe I had 535 because it was yesterday's high or something. Let me see. That's why I have 535. Yeah, because 535 was today's pre-market high. That's absolutely important because the stock could potentially, that could be a very key support level. So yeah, I want to leave that there. What am I doing? Oh, sorry guys, I gotta use the price line. Here it is. Sorry guys that this video is longer than usual. But people ask that I can, go into more of the psychology today and explain why I was picking what I was picking. So hopefully you find this useful. So all right, so potential dip buy at 535 or short breakdown. All right, because if it can't hold these levels, then you could potentially short, risking off the previous level. And you gotta expect, the stock is up so much. I mean, it's due for a monster red day. Maybe tomorrow's that day. We'll see. But we got our key support levels mapped out. So 570, if it holds and breaks and holds, buy, go long. If you can't hold it, short it, risking off that. You got potential dip buys at 541 and at 535. If it can't hold, I would say 535. That's a good area to short. I wouldn't short it at 541. I would like to see it break below this 535 level. And then we have potential dip buys opportunities at $5. 484, 470, and 450. Each one of those levels could be a potential dip buy for you, or you could potentially short off each level above it. All right, so just be mindful of that. Okay, so that's GERN. And next up is Run. That's my baby right now. It's up at it hit a high of 895, retraced back to VWAP. Still bullish. So again tomorrow, if it breaks above 895 and holds, go long. Risking 895. It gets back to 895. It can't hold it, short it, risking off that level. Next key level to potentially buy is 884. If you can't hold it, short it. Next key level below that is 856, and then 837. So these are areas potentially to dip by because it's above it right now. Otherwise, you could short, risking off those key levels. Run is one of those stocks that when it does go red, it'll have multiple red days where you could take a nice short on. But it's looking good right now. Anyway, next up, QEP. QEP up 8%, and I like this just based on the technical chart. It's in the sideways consolidation, so if it breaks above 965 and holds, take it long, risking off 965. If it pulls back, you could potentially buy a dip at 949 or 945. If it can't hold either one of those key levels, you can short, risking off that and potentially buy 925. Now, if it can't hold 929, then lights out. This stock gets back to about 880. So keep an eye out on that. ECYT. Oh, I didn't map out my support and resistance levels on this stock. I did click. I just didn't put my alert here. So 1123. If it breaks above 1123, you can buy the breakout. I'm sorry. Yeah, you can buy it now. Just keep in mind I have alerts here below because this stock's been running forever. But if it, watch for that overhead resistance of 1154. If it can't break 1154, you can short it, risking off that. If obviously if it breaks above and holds, take it long. Now I don't know if it's gonna do it tomorrow, but we'll see. I think tomorrow this goes red, but we'll see. But we do have potential dip buy areas. Now let me pull back my chart the way I like it. It's up right now. It's 1075. Look for 1052 or 1034 to potentially buy the dip. You can also look at 1014 too. So there's some clear support at 1014 too. To potentially buy dips. All right. And then if you're gonna take it long, I mean, in theory, the break above 11, you could because it's a whole number. If it holds $11, you can kind of take it long, expecting it to test 1123. But I'm not looking at it. This is not something I'm going to be looking at tomorrow unless it breaks 1123. All right, next up, ECA. ECA is up 8%. I just like the way the technical chart looks. It's easy support and resistance levels to potentially take a trade. So if it breaks above 1232 and holds, take it long, risking off 1232. If it pulls back, you could potentially buy dips at 1203 or 1198. If it can't hold either level, you could short it. 1170 would be the next potential dip buy area. If you can't hold that, you can short it, risking off 1170. And then the next potential dip buy is 1150. If it holds 1150, you can buy the dip. Otherwise, you can short it. And if it can't hold that, then it'll probably test, $11.20, $11 again. It's been up. It's had 2 green days. This day got a lot more volume than yesterday. Average is 8 million shares. It's at 15. So let's see what happens tomorrow. Next up, GES is up after hours. It's holding right now. 1774 is the high. It's up because it good earnings. So and then you have potential dip buys here at 1720, 1668, 1647. If it can't break above this, look for a nice short tomorrow, I guess. But otherwise, if it holds 1774 and goes long, you could take it long based right over that 1774 level. So keep an eye out on that. Next up, CRC. CRC is up. Oh, I didn't map out my support and resistance levels. This thing was at 1480. It's at 1687. So my expectation is, it's had 2 green days. That maybe it'll pull back a little bit at the market open and then maybe continue going. I don't know. But, could look at potential dip buys at 1657, 1611, and 1555. Or obviously you can short if it can't hold either one of these levels, risking the previous level. All right. I'll put my alerts later. Next up, FCX. So look for gold stocks, mining stocks. They've been running. So look at NUGT, JNG, IAG. A lot of those stocks tomorrow could potentially go up further. These mining stocks. This stock moves, man. When miners are up, it definitely moves. I didn't map anything out, to be quite honest with you. And this video is so long that I'm not going to do it right now. Just all you gotta do is pull up the chart. I'll put so here's a clear. So obviously if it breaks 1925, you could take it long, risking off that. There's some clear support levels in here, but I'd be looking at either at 1925 and then maybe this this level here, like right around here, which would be the, what is this, 1898. This is what, 18, there's some good support here, 1898, 1893. So I look for potential dip by 1893. I'll do this afterwards. And then obviously there's other areas here, 1882 and then 1874 if it starts pulling back, because maybe tomorrow's the day it pulls back. I'll map my support and resistance levels with my alerts, but here, that's basically what I do. Next up, well, I did map out. I just didn't do the high, which is 33.91. So let me create an alert. This stock is up 9%. Buy, breakout, if holds 33.91, or short, rejection. Yeah, so there we go. And these are the key levels. So 33.91 is the high. If it breaks 33.91 holds, take it long, risking 33.91. Next up is 33.14. 33.14 is a good potential dip buy if it holds. Otherwise, you can short, risking off that level. Next key level is 32.50. Buy a dip there, otherwise short it. And then 31.91, you can potentially buy a dip, otherwise you can short it. And then if it breaks that, this is lights out. You know, you can get a whole point, probably shorten this back down below 31.91. But you know, it's been on a tear. You know, it's been on a tear and oil's up, so we'll see. And then last but not least, Facebook. I didn't do anything for Facebook, but let me clear this. And I know Facebook's a really high price stock, but you know, so I know a lot of people can't trade it. You know, 100 shares though get you nice range. Tomorrow I would probably be looking, well, obviously you want to see, you know, you always want to put a trend line at the high day, right? So we want to put, so today, that was the high today. And then, you know, you got a lot of key support here. And you just, let me pull a 5-minute time frame. And let's see. So we got some good support here at this 170.75. What is this? What does it say? 170.78, 170.80, 170.82, 170.82. So I'll say, well, we'll say 170, just because that's the lowest. 170.78. We'll put it there, just so you don't miss it. All right, so I'll put a line there. I'm gonna create my alerts after this video, but, and we'll say, we'll put another one. It's kind of holding this area here right now, which is about, ah, shit, sorry guys. That's why I like to do this before, because this just takes time. I'm trying to find like the clear support level here. This is, yeah, right here, about one, what is this? One, because there is some support above and below it, and there is some support here below it, right here. I'm gonna say, right here is this, what, 169.36. Yeah, and I'll probably put you to sleep by now. And so I'll put some clear support there. And then, you know, obviously tomorrow I think this goes red, me personally, and this is some good support right here. 166.18 to me is a nice level to potentially check. Now, if this can't hold 161.95, I mean, short it, you know. You know, but if it breaks below this 166.18, I mean, obviously you got to be careful, because there is support here and some support here. But I think tomorrow this is going to tank. I don't think what Mark Zuckerberg says is enough to make this run higher. That's at least my guess. I mean, I could be wrong, but I think this shit is going to tank. I think this stock, let me just remove this so you guys can see it better. I do think this stock is going to get back to, it's at 169. Let me zoom out. This, where is it? Down, like, I think it's gonna get back down to this 150 level, you know. I think I really do. I think it's, I don't know, man. I mean I could be wrong, but yeah, I see so much easier to see here. But I think Facebook is gonna get back to this like 148, 150 level. I think it's gonna, that's what I get. That's my guess. I just think because what's going on is so fucked up, and what they did was so shitty, and that the fact they didn't tell their they didn't prevent it, or they didn't say anything about it with sharing people's information. That's just bad, man. So anyway, we'll see what happens. So that's the video. I hope I went on too long. I'm tired, so I'm sorry if I was rambling. But like, subscribe, and let me know what you think. All right, guys, have a good